What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here, and we just watched the season finale of Season 2 of Solo Leveling, Episode 13. We're going to be talking about it in full spoilers ahead, so hopefully you've watched this episode, and we will be doing a season review as well at the end of this, so we'll be talking about this episode and then just talking about our general thoughts of the whole season, and hoping and praying for a Season 3. I heard somewhere, I don't know if it's an official source, saying that it was in limbo and the creator didn't know if they're going to be able to make it or not, which is weird to me considering the show seems very popular. But I guess I'll wait and see, if more information comes out on that. But yeah, season or episode 13. Real quick recap. They're just wrapping up the season. The big things that happened here was Jinwoo did exactly what you were thinking he was going to do and brought back the dead healer to heal Hunter Cha. One thing that threw us off, though, is because I forgot his name, Bayek,
something like that.
said that he didn't want that guy to see battle again, basically.
Because he didn't like fighting.
Yeah, he didn't like fighting. He just wanted to heal people. He did what we did not guess he was going to do, and he released him from his army of the dead, basically. Jinwoo did. So that was interesting. And then, yeah, everybody escapes the island. The Japanese are upset that their plan didn't necessarily work out. The ants go crazy without a leader and start just going in every direction. There's people all over the place trying to thwart them because they don't know where they're going, what they're doing. They start heading to the mainland, and then we get a scene with Jinwoo taking the black ant and absorbing him into his army, and naming him, I think, is Beru. And having him go out there and just kill 4,000 of these ants or help with that. We found out there's 4,000 ants still running around, and
He didn't get all of them, but he definitely got the ones going to Korea.
yeah, he got Buckwild, and then we find out Jinwoo is planning on making his own guild, which is interesting. And then we saw two mystery people show up in the cave where people were on Jeju Island, where people were doing cleanup of all the dead ants. Two mystery people talking very vaguely, obviously cliffhanger stuff about some other mystery person who's not going to be happy about something, some hunt that they're on, and they are able to rip a tear in reality and leave in different portals, possibly being able to go in and out of all the gates.
Or creating gates or something.
Or creating gates, we don't know, and if you do know, please don't tell us. We're hoping for the season 3 to explain that. And then also, was that Jinwoo's dad?
Yeah.
That was up above them. So there's a lot going on that island still, which is kind of weird. He was listening and then sneaking away, I guess. Mm-hmm. We also got a scene of, I think it's that Thomas Andre dude. I'm not sure.
They didn't give us anything there.
Some super powerful dude on a boat. Look like American boats, possibly. Doing a cross slash and killing a shitload of ants effortlessly. So this dude's pretty powerful. Although with how quickly Jinwoo just kind of flew past everybody who were S ranks, no way of telling how powerful this dude is, but he seems powerful. So, so yeah, that's cool. And then what else happened? Because they just kind of wrapped things up. Outside of the end where Jinwoo just basically goes into a B gate and wrecks
Turns
it.
into a red gate and
Just shows off that he's got this gigantic army and he's ready to go on to the next target. Is there anything else I missed that was big?
I mean, there was the funeral he attended or whatever, and he kind of showed that the other S ranks, first off, they're being, they respect the guy obviously at this point, but also
Kind of have to.
They had a moment where like Hunter Cha was talking about wanting to be like, she's feeling like she's being left behind and she wants to be stronger.
Which is something we've been talking about the last couple episodes, that the hunters are going to have to find a way to get stronger.
Or the show's going to have to present us some way to make them relevant.
Because they're obsolete.
Yeah. He hit 100 was also something that happened. And I don't know if that is a max level. They didn't explain anything other than I'm 100 now. And then
I think it was just probably like a what's that called when you hit a
Milestone.
milestone? Thank you.
Yeah, it could have been a personal milestone. I was just kind of curious to see if maybe like he would get some other, like advanced job thing or something. We'll see. Obviously, like that was just very briefly mentioned, and then I think that's pretty much it. I know they kind of showed too after he said the guild thing. It seemed like he kind of did that because his brother wants to make a guild, and I think he kind of did that to kind of go, okay, you can have a guild now because you don't have to rely on your family. You can rely on me to do it.
Sure.
So,
yeah,
that was the only details I could think of. So,
yeah. What do we think?
The episode itself was fine, though there were some pretty crazy moments in it. Him getting the black ant is insane because that thing is also ridiculous, making the S-rings obsolete. So
yeah, well, yeah, that's crazy that the only dude he's kind of had a problem with fighting, even though he did just kind of dog walk him after a while, is now, we already saw this with I forgot their name, but at the end of season 1, the person he had a problem with is now part of his army. So it's kind of interesting to see as he just keeps defeating people, he's collecting Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm just like the prospect of someone
who's beyond the S ranks.
Beyond the S ranks being just like a summon now is a pretty crazy thought.
Yeah. Well, it's also interesting too because all of his Pokemon can level.
Yeah, because they level with him, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, or maybe it's independent. I can't.
I think they were leveling independently because a couple of them hit like level 2 or something.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and then like the breadcrumbs. Obviously, they're presenting us with mystery people showing up and Jinwoo's dad kind of floating around, and then showing us random, presumably S-rank hunter sitting on a boat and just demolishing a bunch of bugs, but giving us no other information outside of that. And they're just kind of really setting up the next stuff, because we had brought it up in a previous review of an episode that a lot of the stuff that was like kind of set up in season 1 was actually getting wrapped up, which was nice to see. But
his mom, Jeju Island, they're done. But
they keep also like slowly introducing, the whole show is constantly done this, slowly introducing other little breadcrumbs here and there. But this episode threw like they made a bag of breadcrumbs, went, oh, here you go,
which they needed to, because I was like, we're tying too many loose ends up.
And then the system still being like a big mystery is obviously a big question. It's probably the question at the end of the day. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, and these people who are like traversing the system.
So I appreciate the things to kind of look forward to that going forward, obviously. And it didn't feel like such a crazy cliffhanger that I was like, oh man, what the heck?
No, honestly, it kind of freaked me out because I feel like they wrapped it up really nicely to the point where if they didn't make a season 3, and I hope they do, but if they didn't make a season 3, I feel like they kind of ended those arcs.
Yeah.
And you could just like leave it there if you wanted to, without like, obviously people would want to know more about the things that were hinted towards, but like as like
to read them on with them.
As like a Jeju Island arc, they pretty much completed it. And his mom. So like it and the way the episode ended felt like it was kind of like a send off. So obviously I hope we get season 3. Obviously there's more to tell, but I think they ended it well.
Right. Other than that, just speaking of this episode itself, it was a lot of just like scenes of still images and stuff like that too, because we were kind of doing the rolling out for the end of the season thing where we were showing like how everyone's doing and what they're doing type of thing. And so obviously not as exciting as previous episodes, but again, it was still good because of the information we were given, or the tidbits of information we were given. So.
I liked the episode. It had some good scenes in it. I thought the scene where he brought back that healer dude and then released him had an emotional quality to it that I thought was effective for how short it was. And and definitely wasn't what I was expecting to happen. I was like, oh, cool, he's gonna have a healer in his army now.
Yeah, shows how greedy my thought process was. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's just gonna be invincible. Now he's gonna have a healer.
But he was like instantly on the same page as the Bayek of just being like, yeah, we shouldn't use him basically like
Yeah.
for this. So we used him for Hunter Shaw because he heard a voice from him, and that was it. So that was actually a twist I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
But yeah, him taking on the Black Ant though is pretty wild. He basically has like an F-15 now, just a jet with him that can fly around and kill shit.
Oh, it talks.
Oh, it talks to him too. Which I think he said something about his level coinciding with that or something. He was questioning.
He's presuming because its rank is general.
Yeah. So that's interesting as well.
It
that he
also
can
retains
communicate.
its memory, so I
Yep.
wonder if the rest of them do too.
They all kind of seem like they do, but
Yeah.
they're all just like instantly forget any ill intent they had towards him, and they're just like cool with him now.
I
But
would say
they
the-
do seem like they're who they were.
The sword shield guy, like, what a weird thing to think about if he retains those memories and then he's just okay with it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the system rewrites some stuff, but
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, wait a minute, he remembered all that. That guy who literally hated him
yeah,
is now just brain dead tank boy. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Anyways, sorry.
yeah, it's interesting, but it was interesting that he kind of retained his thoughts, or at least is pretending like it could just be like an AI, like carrying over those memories, but not actually being the original. So yeah, that's interesting though, and that definitely just makes Jinwoo even more powerful having that part of his army. He also took on the ants themselves, so he has a very diverse army of things. I would be very interested to see what he could use that army. I mean, we got a taste of it a couple episodes ago, or one episode ago, of him actually using his army to defend the S ranks, but.
Yeah, 2 episodes.
But yeah, now it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's like, what's going to be the threat to use that against? So it's crazy. Yeah, and then what else? I'm curious about the people that we didn't get any info on. Obviously, it's intentionally vague, so I have nothing to go off of. But I do think we're getting a whole new arc of super powerful people that will need to be fought. But there's multiple of them, so there needs to be multiple of Jinwoo. And so far, we only got one Jinwoo. So I'm wondering just how powerful this fucking dude on the boat shooting the X beam is. He seems pretty powerful. Be weird if they're showing him off and he's just like, I'm also as weak as the other S ranks. It's like, okay, well, that's a waste of time.
Well, I know at one point too they had mentioned that some S ranks were basically the strength of an entire country's military.
Yeah.
And they had referred to that American guy. They had referred to, I think Jinwoo, and then someone else. I can't remember.
And they sure as fuck talked up Godo, but he got wrecked. But yeah, really interested in that. I think they need to reevaluate the S rank because, as I've said multiple episodes now, if the S rank is that that big of an ocean of different types
Very.
of people, that we need some more specific rankings past S, because even Godo was way more powerful than a bunch of the other S ranks. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's interesting. Also, that we saw Jinwoo's dad again, because he kind of showed up, beat the shit out of that one dude, and then just left. And now he's like hiding in a cave. I don't know if he's been hiding there, but I think he's there because those guys, I don't know, or they're tracking him or something. But
Well, yeah, and I think he was in America when he got. I don't know if they specified. He was in another country for sure, at the very least.
Yeah.
So he obviously has now traveled back to Korea at this point.
yeah, so we saw him for a split second. Curious about what's going on there. Yeah, Jinwoo making a guild. That's cool. And the whole send off at the end of the episode, I think was a solid way to end the season. So yeah, not the most exciting episode, but definitely a good end cap to season 2.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think they did it responsibly and in a way that feels satisfying. And yeah, solid episode to a very solid season, a much improved season over season one, which I think makes season one even better because I think they handled all the loose ends of season one better than I could have ever imagined in season two. They literally ended arcs in one season, so that's kind of crazy, but creating new ones with all the new mysteries. So yeah, that's all I got to say on that. For my grade, I'm probably going to give season two of Solo Leveling. I think I'm going to give it a really strong A minus. I kind of want to give it an A, but I feel like a lot of the season is just Jinwoo aura farming. It's just a lot. It's a lot of style, and that's fine. I really enjoy it, but the substance we get out of the show is rare, but it's there with his mom. I thought that was satisfying when she came back. That was a long running arc of him like working towards that goal. We got it. That's nice. And then Jeju Island being defeated is also crazy because that since season one has been a big thing where people were talking about having to go back to the island and shit. Well, they finished it. And then we had moments, like the healer in this episode that, felt good. But for the most part, a lot of the show is just Jinwoo just being a badass and satisfying to watch, just kick people's ass. And that's basically all I need. I was entertained. I think it was a really good season and way better season than season one. So I'm gonna give it a strong A minus. I don't think I can go much higher than that just because even though the story is way more layered than I would expect from just an action
for sure.
anime, it doesn't have any like deeper resonating emotions that makes me feel super invested in the story itself. But I definitely enjoyed this season. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna agree with you, though. So an A minus as well. And I'm going to add another reason that I can't go higher is that Jinwoo never actually felt like he was challenged the whole season. And though I can have fun with that, it kind of is not as cool to me. It's not as fun to me. It's like watching someone struggle, even maybe lose and then have a comeback, right? Those are the kind of things that like I think are actually like really exciting. Otherwise, it's just him being a badass, and I enjoy that as well. It's just not as much as someone who has to struggle for it. So
yeah, at least something. Like I thought we're gonna get it with like the Black Ant, but that got squashed pretty quick.
Yeah, he was in control of that fight the whole time.
Yeah, he's had to lock in, and then it was over. Yeah. So that's what I meant about like the show's mostly just him aura farming because like there isn't moments where like we see much weakness from him.
Yeah, it was super heavy power fantasy the whole season, which is
badass to watch.
It's fine. I watch plenty of shows where that happens, but
John Wick's a whole movie series of a dude just beating people's ass.
It's super fun.
Yeah,
I had a blast this season. I really hope to see a season 3 because it would be a must watch. But
it'd be wild if they don't do it. I hear people talking about Solo Leveling more than like anything when it comes to anime right now.
It's definitely like the big show right now. So.
Yeah. So it would be crazy if they're like, 2 seasons fine.
Yeah.
Like give it to a different studio or something if they can't do it. But
was it the studio or the manhwa?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
I don't know any details. I just read somewhere that it was in limbo.
I'll
but
have to look into it.
Maybe that was like 2 days ago. So maybe by then it's been. I know Solo Leveling season 2 was announced like a day or two after season 1 ended. So maybe by now it's been announced.
Yeah. Well, that felt pretty fast, to be honest. Usually,
it was very fast.
Usually, there's some time though. Lately, at the end of seasons, they'll wait till the last episode and they're like, "Here's the announcement for the next season." Though Freerun didn't do that. Freerun took a little bit too. So,
I mean, anime's big business nowadays. So I'm sure with ones like this, they're already pre-planning on keeping that business model going.
Yeah, for sure. But A1's also a pretty big studio, so they probably have a ton of projects in the works too. That might be part of the problem. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know. I gotta look into it myself. I'm speculating at this point.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nope. Fantastic season.
Yeah, so. it was really good. Definitely always looked forward to watching episodes, and it never felt like it dropped in like my interest. So
definitely
a solid season. Yeah, so let us know in the comments what you guys think about this episode as a finale. What were some of your favorite parts of this episode? Maybe there's something we didn't really talk about you'd like to talk about in the comments. And what do you think about the whole season as a whole? What would you grade it if you want to grade it? Favorite parts, maybe there's some weaknesses, maybe there's some things you wanted from it that we didn't get. Where do you think things are going to go in season 3, if we're getting a season 3? And if you know anything about that, let me know in the comments. I'm completely ignorant, so educate me. And if you do know where it goes after this, don't tell us, because it's been fun to watch this show completely blind. I don't think I had anything spoiled for me in 2 seasons, so that's great, because there's been other animes we've been watching where people start posting pictures from the manga and shit. I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing?
JJK is notoriously bad for that.
JJK is real bad. People are always trying to tell people ahead of time what was coming. I'm like, stop.
Having issues with Chainsaw Man as well. So
yeah. But this, for some reason, I didn't see shit. So that's been great.
That way.
It's been great. So thank you if you've been watching us for not telling us anything.
Sure.
But let us know everything you think about, though, when it comes to Soul Leveling season 2 and the upcoming, hopefully, season 3. And that's gonna do it for this review. Stay tuned. We will be watching Lazarus as that begins soon, and we are going to give Shogun a watch, since we didn't watch that when it came out originally. And we'll probably do a first episode review and feel out if we want to do episodic reviews for that or not. But Lazarus, we will be doing episodic reviews unless it just sucks. 3 episodes in, I'll be like, okay, we'll do like a season review or something like that. Yeah. Stay tuned, though. We got at least 2 shows we'll be reviewing right around the corner. And if you have any recommendations, of course, let us know in the comments below. We can't guarantee to watch whatever that is, but it's great to get some outside perspective on things maybe we should be checking out. And I've been Seth, this has been Chevy. Until the next episode, we will talk to you guys later.